Okay, so let's get started.
So how was the trip? San Francisco. I don't want any of this. This isn't what I planned. Microphone's too loud. Is that any better? Yeah, that's much better. Okay. Yep. All right. Man, this was a fantastic plan, but horrible execution. I don't really know what to say. My plan was to film the first segment of the podcast with nobody here, with my dad not there, and I have a horrible delay. I don't know how to fix that. We'll chalk this up to a learning experience, and you can watch. I don't know how any of these knobs work except for the microphone, so I'm just gonna kind of have to play around. I'll turn that one up. That one I'll put right there. I'll turn that one down. I don't really know what's gonna stop the delay. Honestly, I do not. I have no clue. This is where my dad comes into play. He's the one that knows how to use all this stuff. I'm more of the video guy. All right? Does that sound any better? I don't. It sounds good at first, but now, no. There's a delay. There's a delay. A delay. A delay. 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 Yeah. I mean, it sounds almost no. I get. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll roll without the headphones on, because that little bit of a delay, you won't hear it. That's the problem. You won't hear the delay. You're just going to hear what it is in real time, but I hear the delay in the headphones. Inside my own ears, I'm hearing myself a split second later than what I'm really saying, and that kind of messes with you. So if he was here, he'd weigh in on that, or he would fix it. He would actually just go fix the problem. He knows how to do that. I don't. I don't know how those knobs work. My audio settings right now are not the way they should be. He's the one that does that. It's probably something I should learn how to do. So if I try to do something like this by myself, it at least sounds decent. He's on his way back from the airport right now in an Uber with Brenda. Literally on his way back. I don't know if they flew out of Love Field. Love Field, right? Dad? Oh, he's not here. They flew out of Dallas at Love Field, which makes me believe they're flying Southwest. Because Love Field is, I've recently learned that Love Field is the only one in the DFW area that flies Southwest. The other one, they don't do Southwest. So it's making me think he's going to be landing at Hobby, which is significantly closer than George Bush International, which that makes a difference. He texted me, said, hey, we're leaving the airport. If they're leaving Hobby, we're talking, there's literally a 30-minute difference between the drive time, so I don't know exactly when he's going to be getting here. That's the curious part about this. Like I said, because they flew out of Love, makes me think they're flying Southwest, which I'm almost positive Southwest does not land at George Bush, which means they're landing in Hobby, which is right there. Something like that. But it's only at this time on a Sunday. I would think the drive time from Hobby to here would be, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. As long as you take the right route. I mean, it's not that long. So depending on what he meant by leaving the airport, if he meant leaving as in he's getting in the Uber, he'll be walking in the door any second if he came from Hobby. If he's coming from George Bush, it may be another 10 to 15 minutes. But when he said I'm leaving the airport, if that meant he's still getting his bags and he hasn't even called an Uber, then he's 30 minutes from getting here. Although he did say 7, and it's 6:47, so he's pretty close to getting here. I'd like to time this properly so he doesn't walk in the middle of this. The door opening and all that it cause a distraction. It'll be loud. It'll interrupt it. I don't want that. But I put a sign on the outside of the door that says I'm filming in here. His neighbors are going to think something weird's going on if they walk by and they see this big legal pad piece of paper that says filming, do not disturb on his front door. I didn't even think about that. Filming in here. They all know him. He's been here 20 years. They know him, but it probably would look a little interesting if there's that big sign on the front door. Oh, well, it's there now. Nothing he can do about it. I'm not going to take it down. Because if he does show up while I'm doing this, while I'm actually talking right now, if he shows up, I would like him to open that front door as quietly as possible. Because this area isn't that big. And that door is, from where I'm standing, is maybe 15 feet from me. And that's a big, fat maybe 12 feet. You'd hear it. If he just came barging in, these microphones would go screaming in your ears. It'd be so loud. Or at least it would take away from just good audio. It would sound horrible. A little bit jealous, though, of that trip he just took. Going to the weather there. Holy moly. I've been there once. Well, I've been to California. And the weather is just... Geographically, everything about the state is phenomenal. It's just full of wackos. But I'm actually really curious to see. He took my GoPro and he shot a bunch of videos. The likelihood of him doing what I suggested is very slim. I suggested he'd tell a story, like a storyline, from literally the time he got out of the Uber at the airport when he took off from George Bush, which is why I'm curious about where he landed, because I know he took off from George Bush. But I start it right there. Do a few seconds of filming like at the baggage claim, a few seconds where you're going through security as much as they would let you. They're going to have to turn your camera off at some point. But filming up to that point, filming walking up to the gate, walking through the jetty, walking into the plane, being in your seats, filming out the window as the plane's taking off. Do a little video while the plane is flying at its maximum altitude. And then vice versa, landing, getting off, do all that, tell a little story, all little quick, short 3-second video clips. And then, that's your travel. And then you film all the different bits and pieces of the trip, which that I know he did. That's why he took it. It's the travel part of it, all the airport stuff. I think he didn't want to mess around with a camera in an airport. Half because he's worried about the security aspect of it and them getting mad and taking it from him. And which that is the only argument I would agree with. But then the other aspect was just, I don't want to hassle with it. I don't want to have to deal with it. It's just, I don't want to do it. And that's laziness in my mind. Just pure friggin' laziness. I lent you a $500 action camera. At least you could get some good shots with it. Please. So, I'm sure it turned out good though. The videos he got, I'm sure, of the Golden Gate Bridge and him on the bikes. I bet that was badass. I'm looking forward. That is probably what I'm most interested in about this night, is watching those videos, just watching all those video clips. But he said he went through almost 2 batteries, which means he got a lot of video. I mean, I know what those batteries last, and almost 2 batteries worth of video that's a decent amount of video. I mean, that could take an hour and a half just going through videos, and it's not videos I may want to fast forward through because it's in a area I've never been to. I've never been to San Francisco, so I might want to see every second of it. I don't know. Or maybe he let the videos roll for long periods of time and there's really nothing in between. I don't know. We'll figure it out when he gets here. But it's interesting. I've never done this with nobody standing next to me. I've never done that. I've never had there's nobody to talk back, and that makes it my show, which is different. Not that I'm opposed to it, but it definitely makes it harder because you are completely the sole focus of what's the entertainment factor of it, the keeping the attention. And that's a challenge. It makes you fully respect radio talk show hosts, because I've got, like right now, if you've got nothing to say, I've got nobody to jump in and fill that void. I've got to fill my own void at the drop of a dime. And sometimes yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying? I'm not that great at it. I'm a rookie. So, well, we're going to come back when I'm done with this. I'm going to cut this. He will arrive. He will jump on the mic, and he will have a lot more to say, because he will literally just be walking in the door from landing at George Bush or Hobby. We don't know. We'll find out. Let's see. I say Hobby because he flew out of Love Field in Dallas. So I say Hobby because he's on Southwest, puddle jumper plane, landing in a smaller airport. That's my bet. We'll find out when he gets here. He's going to have a lot to say because, like I just said, he landed, he is en route, on his way here with, I'm sure, way more to say than that will be able to be put into one podcast. So we may have to spread it out because we're talking maybe 20 more minutes when he gets here. We'll have about 20 minutes to condense his 3.5 day trip into 20 minutes. And if you know anything about me or him, us trying to condense anything into that short a period is hard. We can talk. Hence the microphone. 2. We had so much to say, we literally thought we had to go out and buy professional grade condenser microphones to talk about it. A little egotistical. Just a bit. Not proud of it. And there's still a delay. Don't know how to fix that. All right. I'm going to go make another drink and wait for him to get here.
Oh, no queso. Just walked in the door 20 minutes ago, literally 20 minutes ago.
And you flew into which airport? Which one did you land at?
Hobby. We landed at Hobby. We left from Hobby, landed in Hobby.
Like I said.
Flew into SFO, which is San Francisco International. So what does the O stand for, you ask? I don't know what the O is because the O is never explained anywhere. It's SFO, just so for whatever reference that is. But anyway, literally walked in the door after a very, very exciting and long 3.5 day weekend. Exhilarating as it can possibly be. But The first thing I learned is their Mexican food
Sucks?
is not. It's not like our Mexican food. I mean, I guess Tex-Mex really is its own sort of cuisine, if you want to call Mexican cuisine.
What we call Mexican food is that's Tex-Mex. What we're calling Mexican food is Tex-Mex.
Yeah, their menu wasn't even appealing to me as far as what they offered, because none of it I even recognized. And I think I saw a carne asada on there one time, and by then I didn't trust it because I didn't know what the heck their version of it would be. So I just stuck with fried chicken and mashed potatoes. But anyway, it was an amazing trip. It was, and I want to go again next summer. I mean, absolutely want to go again next summer.
Yeah, San Fran again? Or
Yeah, but I want to go to Napa. I'm hoping. What happened was this: we fly in Thursday. We get there noonish.
We're a little loud.
And so,
Hearing that, we're a little loud.
we are loud.
Yeah, we're a little loud.
I thought being down lower means my voice was
We're
penetrating. It
that's what
much
these are
higher.
for. We're a little loud.
I don't have them on, so you got to clue me in.
Yeah.
So I'll talk much
If he had his
quieter.
own pair, he would hear it and he would know. I wouldn't have to do this instructional in the middle of it, but we're a little loud. So anyway, continue, please.
Yeah, I can tell you're just excited. Well, anyway, we get in Thursday. I had to do my MythBuster stuff, so we got in 5 Industries. It was kind of cool. It's everything I knew it would be, but it's really great being there. It's really cool. I really love that show. Went out to Alameda, but much to my dismay, on a small scale, I wasn't able to cross the chain link fences to get out onto the runway where they do all their shots and their experiments.
But can you normally?
No, I don't think it's open to the public on any level, because I was talking to Brenda about it, and her attitude was, I think, reasonably understandable. If those gates are open for any reason, you're going to have motorcycle dudes. You're going to have. That's a 2-mile runway, and there's a lot of fun that could be had out there.
Drag racing, people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And probably people getting hurt, and now you got liability. So anyway, I totally get it. But what's amazing is they had all the hangars, and most of them have been converted to wineries or wining canneries or not fish canneries, but wineries where they have their own bottlings, and they have a little restaurant / bar where they do wine taste. And it's funny, we go to the one closest to the gate that I wanted to get through but couldn't, so we had to pull the car up and shoot it from there as the best shot I can get. And I'm telling you, there's all these moms with their little kids, right? Down here, size, age 18 months, and either side. And they're all sitting down on the side of the bar, not where the chairs are and the tables, not in the bar area or anywhere on the inside, but on the ground with their strollers and blankets. And they're just sitting there. There must have been 8 of them. And they're all sipping on their wine, doing their little thing and telling their stories and all that. And I walked by it thinking, are you in a club of some sort? Is this some sort of an organized deal? But it was unique. But anyway, long and the short of it, it was San Francisco in Northern California is a very special place. I fell in love with it. I absolutely fell in love with it. There's so much to say about it.
Could you ever see yourself living there?
Not long term. Not long term. For a couple of reasons. One, it's so dense.
Forget the politics.
Okay. But that does have a part of it.
Well,
I'm a little annoyed sometimes by they take things a little bit too far in some areas, but I won't get into all that.
As far as what?
Well,
real quick, are they super green?
Yes.
Environmental, everything.
Well, they mandate all this stuff. They don't offer to the public
they're forcing it.
They're not
you.
free enterprise. They're transitional.
The government is.
They transition you. Unisex bathrooms are everywhere. You don't get a bag in any store or restaurant you go into, and if you do, you got to pay for it. And even if it's paper, you got to pay for it. They don't offer bags to anybody.
For what?
Anything you buy. We bought shirts. We went to a convenience store.
So
you buy 3 drinks and a bag of chips.
So if you go buy 6 of these shirts like that, and
they ask you up front, do you want a bag?
Well, yeah, I want a effing
15
bag.
cents.
The hell it is.
It's our bag, and you're going to pay for it.
Because
or you're going to walk out with shirts over your shoulders.
So then they do that for the environmental reason, for not they're trying to cut down on the Really? Is that?
Yeah, but in their defense, let me explain what I think I figured out about this place. First of all, they're very sensitive about waste paper. Now, this is going to get gross, but just hang on for a minute.
Well, toilet paper.
You can't put toilet paper in toilets and flush it.
What do you mean?
You don't. You put it in the trash bag. right next to the commode. You throw all your stuff in there.
That's a Mexico
I'm
thing.
telling you, they don't want. Now in a hotel, you could do it in the hotels, but when Brenda used the restroom, like in some of the places that we went to, she came out and she goes, "Well, I just flushed it. I didn't care."
Yeah, well, they regulate that.
But that's an
Is
honor
there somebody on the
system thing.
outside of the stall just...
little overhead cameras.
You flushing that? No, don't you do it.
I didn't.
Like, what are you
That was only
talking about?
water.
That's the most absurd thing I've ever heard.
That-
There's no policing it. Is there a
A lot of what they do somewhat honor system, but here's what I learned though. Here's what I thought was interesting.
So you
have such a limitation of both land space and usable space of any level, street surfaces, sidewalk, green areas, and you've got a population of 37,000 people that live in the city limits, and you're on a peninsula and you got nowhere to go. You're on huge hills, and it's another thing. All these homes, and some of these homes are, the 3-story row townhomes with the bay windows. We figured it out. Bay window, Bay Area. Goes to.
You're not selling the city very well.
I'm not trying to. Every one of the homes there all have only a single car garage. I saw only one double car garage, and it was a McMansion in that definition. It was a slightly wider row townhome.
Which was probably that $5 million house.
And it was on the water facing Alcatraz. So yeah, it was probably a multi-billion-dollar property. But
it was probably $5 million.
Well, but I can understand sort of what they're trying to do because they don't have the ability. Think about it. In an area that size, where's your landfill? Where's your landfill going to be? You're talking 50 miles to get away from all that area south before you have a reasonable landfill. And when you go south, guess what you have? Majestic mountains. What do you do with all that waste? You put it in shipping containers and move it out and bury it somewhere? Move it to the desert and bury it?
Well, what is toilet paper going in the toilet?
It probably has a problem. It probably makes
what is our sewage
sewage plants much more efficient if they didn't have to put up with that. So that's why they say try not to do it. It makes it cheaper.
And you put it
you have to put your initials on it.
You put it right there. I know this because I've seen.
I know leave your signature on it.
I know that you don't have to do this to put your signature on it.
Oh, well, that's very gross. But I get what you're saying.
And you put in the trash can. So you're going to places in public in this.
Well,
city.
I actually asked Brenda, "Did you see stuff in the trash can?"
And what'd she say?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Those are probably the locals. But remember, this is a heavy tourist town. Heavy tourist town.
Yeah, but that's disgust. We're in a modern society in the USA, and
I don't disagree.
And we're putting our shit tickets in the trash can next to the toilet.
What?
Shit tickets.
What's that?
A toilet paper.
What's it a ticket to? The toilet?
Yeah, it's your ticket. It's your excrements ticket to a waste management company, and you're putting it in a.
I'm still not connecting the.
You're putting it in the trash can next to the toilet. That's disgusting. So wait.
Well, you fold it in such a way that the white stays out. All white up, and there's probably little notes about that.
I have to do that every
Any
time.
and all color remain down.
And now, but it's gonna smell. Or you haven't. So now you have to hire somebody to come and change out that trash can every 20 minutes to make sure it doesn't have a smell. So now you're offsetting whatever cost it took to drive it or do whatever you have to do to just flush it. You're offsetting it with the cost of hiring somebody to make sure that these trash cans are emptied on a regular basis.
There's probably some truth to that. But otherwise
it's going to smell.
But you got to look at it from a bigger scale situation. You got a whole lot of people in a very dense area. You got to manage your city differently than we manage this. We got all the room in the world we need. We can dump stuff anywhere we want.
True.
We have more vacant land than they'll ever know.
Yeah, true.
But I will tell you this about the areas outside the city. There's a whole lot of vacant land in the mountainous areas, both on the Oakland side, on the northern Sausalito side, and all the way down to where we went to Monterey along Pacific Coast Highway. Everywhere you look, on the inland side, where all the mountains are, there's very few areas where you see dense housing on the hillside. But when you see it, it's really cool. It's gorgeous. It's like, God, the view must be amazing. And the price must be too.
Yeah, well,
but a lot of it's completely vacant. In fact, I've said to Brenda numerous times, I cannot believe that this many people live in this state and few people are seen. it's desolate in so many areas of there. You get into Santa Cruz, and then you get into it, and it's the city area, and then you get right back out of it, and it's back out to nothing again. These little tiny little towns you go through, with really sexy little towns with surf shops on the side that have been 18 different shops in the building's lifetime that are, and they'll be out of business in 2 years, and another bicycle shop will take its place, and so. The reason I have to go again is that there's just not enough time to see everything. I mean, we went down to Monterey and they had a big, huge, really badass car show, the big expensive Maseratis and Ferraris and everything, and they were lined up as far as I could see. We were leaving as it was getting started.
Leaving to come to Texas, or
no, leaving to go back to San Francisco.
So what? Okay, I want to know what the bike ride was like. That was the big.
That was the coolest thing in the whole
8-mile ride.
Lost my glasses though. Yeah, left them right on the counter. I know I did at the bike shop. You went to the bike shop. Get this. I'll be real brief. They take you along around the inside of this place to set you up. They give you a 5-minute video, show you the whole route, the easy way. Don't do this, or you'll get lost. And they walk you through the whole thing, and you do the little waiver signing. That's the obligatory paperwork or whatever. They fit you with a bike, and you get on the bike, and they ride you around within the shop just to kind of get you set up, fit you with a helmet and all that. And they take you outside, and everything in San Francisco is a straight down shot on the roadway. And you walk it down to the bottom of the hill, and there you go. You ride along the northern part of the coastline from Fisherman's Wharf all the way to the bridge, which I think is about 3.
Wharf or Ward?
Wharf. WHARF. Yeah, wharf. I don't know the definition of it's Fisherman's Wharf, but there's Monterey's got one. Any
All right, so the bike ride though. So
it
you
was
started
phenomenal.
there, and but how?
You
What about the on the bridge part?
Good question. During the weekday, all the bike riding and pedestrian traffic is on the bay side of the bridge. On the weekends, however, particularly in the summertime, they bifurcated, if you will. You got pedestrian on the bay side, bikes are on the Pacific side.
What's better?
I think from a photography standpoint, the bay side's better, because if you're on the Pacific side, what do you look at? Vast ocean.
Yeah, nothing.
But on the Pacific, I mean, on the
you have
on the
landscape.
bay side,
You have landscape.
yeah, you've got Sausalito and you've got Oakland.
What side is the prison on?
That's the bay side.
And it's right in the middle. It's right there.
Right in the middle between
Because I've seen it.
Sausalito and...
All I know is the movie The Rock, and it shows when those jets are coming over, and it's right there. You just look out of the bridge, and it's kind of right there in the middle of the bay, right? That's
Yeah, but I don't think commercial planes don't fly there, but the
no,
Navy
I'm
planes
talking
did.
about the movie. I'm talking about the movie.
But back in then, the Navy planes did in the 60s, because that was all the, Alameda was open back then. This is a big military area. I couldn't believe.
But
Fort Mason is, I think it's more Fort Mason. That's right there at the bridge. When you get up to it, it's all old military housing.
But so is the other. San Diego is also a huge military town. So California, as liberal as they are huge. But they have
back in the day, they were military because.
But
of
they
World
have
War
to. Well,
II.
they have to be because it's the western coast. It's a naval.
Absolutely.
It's a naval hub. I mean,
absolutely.
It's where they launch from. It's where
when they do a lot of repair.
Well, they have to. It's
dry
right
docks
there. I
and
mean,
all
you're talking. It's
Yeah.
It's right on the Pacific. It's between us and Asia. It has to be.
Yeah, Taylor. If you're watching, I got your shirt, sweetie. Look at this. Here you go. That's for you. I got this in San Francisco. It says it right there on the shirt. Okay, not that. Another one is, sorry, that's for me. And let's scrap that. Here's another one for you, sweetie, right here. More your color. But I got this in Monterey. Say, you like that? What do you mean you don't like it? I liked it. That was nice.
Is it the right size?
It's a small.
Does she wear a small?
I think it qualifies.
Do we know?
She ain't a medium. I know that. I mean, medium's all bed down to there. It'd be horrible.
It's 100% cotton. It's going to shrink.
Into what? An extra small?
Yeah. And then I got this. But this isn't 100% cotton. This is a multi-blend.
Is it?
Which is, yeah. This is
multi-blend?
Well, it's just it's a very thin shirt. It's
see that one down? Another shirt for me. I'm such a selfish pig. I got a San Francisco Fire Department t-shirt. I was going to give it to Buddy, but I didn't think he'd want a t-shirt. So anyway.
I like this better. I like the material.
I picked that all by myself because they don't have a lot of that style of shirt down there. They do, but
Why wouldn't they? It's Cali.
They don't have. I don't know. They're t-shirts out the wazoo because I think it's a tourist place, and tourists aren't going to buy that. A local might for gym dudes or whatever. But anyway, the long and the short of it is this: it's a wonderful city. It's a very very special place, and I can't wait to go back. I cannot
What about
wait
the
to
food?
go back.
Aside from your
The bike ride. We're over the bridge.
or the bike ride, we'll just
Yeah.
skip the food and go back. Okay.
And you're on about if I had to guess, about a 9-foot wide pathway between the wall where the road is, where the cars are going, and the open side where there's virtually nothing but a lot of wind.
And water.
Yeah, that too, down that direction. Well, anyway, so you're riding along, and I learned very quickly, if you're not a skilled rider, stay to the right. The skilled guys are going to buzz by you.
So it's the fast lane.
And you know they're skilled riders for 2 reasons. One, they're way faster. B, they have that dress that all the guys dress up like they have sponsors or something as bike riders. And number 3, they don't have rental bikes.
I think that would be your first.
Because here's the funny thing: on the rental bikes, on the handlebars, there's a sheet of paper and plastic about that big with the instructions and directions. Take a right, take a left, take a right, take a left.
It's funny.
What?
I did that on the last trip I took. You go up to somebody and you start talking to them like you've known them your whole life, and they're confused and they don't know what you're talking about. They have no clue. You just talk to them for 30 minutes, act like you're their best friend. I did this the last time I went to San Francisco. It's fun. His name was Rental. Little Steve Martin.
A little Steve Martin reference.
Although I kind of...
It was apropos, though. It was very, very apropos.
He was talking about on ski rentals.
Right, yeah. But which is very, it's a really apropos joke. But the funny thing about this bike shop is they were called Blazing Saddles. Now, come on. That's funny. And I chose them for that very reason.
A very un-PC movie to be in such a PC town. Although I don't think that they probably thought of that movie when they named their bike shop.
When I tried to get one of the guys that was as assistant manager to tell me what the origin of the name was, and he wasn't able to really give me an origin. I think they've probably been in business for many years, and they've turned the employees over 400 times since that name was originally developed. But when you get across the near side, you can go into Sausalito, and Sausalito that's a hidden treasure. It's a bay-oriented area, and you go in about 300 feet from the shore where the marina is, and it just goes straight up from there, and it's all lined in these really really cool homes, one on top of another, vertically, not only across the vertically, but it's horizontally, but it's vertical all the way up to the top of the hill. And you get away from that a little bit, and it looks like a stadium of houses. Rather than people being in the bleachers, they're houses, right? And they're all passing beer, to each other, like they do. But anyway,
it's too close. So, all right.
No,
if you had to,
it's gorgeous.
In 30 seconds, how would you? 30 seconds. How would you close?
I have
out
30
that trip?
seconds. I'd close it out with plans on the next one. Actually, there's more to see. There's more to see than we were able to. I didn't get to go to Haight-Ashbury. I really wanted to do that. We saw Fisherman's. We saw Pier 39. It's kind of what you would expect it to be, but it's still really cool. It's a wonderful environment.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went over to Oakland. Oh, one more thing. Do I have time?
No.
I really don't. Maybe we'll do a part 2. I got to tell you about Oakland I call them the homeless villages. And we also came up with a new term the minute we got on the freeway from the airport. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, you're introduced to them the minute you're in the car. All of a sudden, there's a topography in that town. So we did everything was, let's go to Monterey. Hell yeah, because everything you do is this way all the way. So we made it up too. Nobody else, if they made it up, they stole it from us. We made it up on Thursday. Hell yeah.
We have 14 seconds.
And counting?
Literally.
So we're almost done.
We're running. I mean,
are we done for the night? We done for the night? Oh, we're done for the night.
Done. All right. See you guys next time.
I'm gonna cut that. That's just goofy.
No, it's not. We literally ran that right there. It's done. God, I hope that's saved. I've never done that before. We ran.